It's been more than a year since the outbreak. It took from me everyone I loved.
Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you to 31 Days of Halloween. It is a special event I am doing this year where I will review 31 horror games across a wide range of consoles, both retro and modern. To start things off, today I'll be reviewing Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition for the PlayStation 4. Dead Nation is a top-down shooter that was developed by Housemarque, the people who brought us Super Stardust Ultra and the excellent Resogun. Dead Nation came to the PlayStation 3 on November 30th, 2010, and an enhanced edition was released for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita on March 4th and April 15, 2014, and the enhanced ports were done by Climax Studios. Dead Nation is a PSN-only title, and unfortunately no physical version is available, which is a shame because I would really like to get a physical version of this awesome game. Dead Nation's story is a virus outbreak has caused society to collapse, and most of the world's population are now zombies. You have the choice to play as two different characters, Jack McReady and Scarlet Blake. I chose to play as Scarlet. Both characters' stories are very similar, and basically they run out of supplies, and they're forced to leave their shelters to look for supplies, and they are both immune to the current viral strain. While looking for supplies, Scarlet detects a radio signal and is able to make contact with a doctor named Morton, who claims that he is working on a cure for the virus, and because she is immune to the virus, she is half the key to creating a cure, but he needs her to find Patient Zero, a man named Douglas Bain, and collect a tissue sample from his body and bring it to him, and that becomes Scarlet's mission. Dead Nation's gameplay is pretty straightforward. It is a top-down shooter, and you have access to a wide range of weapons, and you can also use your knife to fight off the undead when needed. The main story mode has you completing missions searching for Patient Zero, and you will encounter herds of undead and several other surprises along the way. The gameplay offers a good variety, including a lot of different locations, and there is also strategy involved, taking advantage of objects like cars, where you can trigger the car alarm and cause a ton of undead to attack the car, which will cause it to blow up, killing them all. And there's even some platforming sections which are really good. In order to upgrade your weapons, you will need to collect cash, which you will find throughout each mission, and once you have enough, you can upgrade your weapons and get access to bigger, more powerful weapons, including the good old flamethrower. Alright, after fighting your way through all the missions, Scarlet finally finds Patient Zero, and after getting a tissue sample, well, a rather large tissue sample, she sets off a nuclear blast, destroying the city's undead, and flies the chopper to the research facility where Dr. Morton is, and she gives him the tissue sample, and they extract blood from her, but she is then put into a biocontainer, and they claim they will turn her body into a living source for the cure by combining her blood with Patient Zero's, but it was a lie, and she realizes that they will turn her into a bioweapon, so she ingests a hidden cyanide pill and dies. And when they try to revive her, a mutated version of the virus causes her to reanimate as a zombie, and she takes her revenge. Alright, I honestly don't like this ending, but I will discuss that at the end. Dead Nation is a really good game, not only having a fun but challenging story mode, but the game also has an arcade mode and an endless mode, where you keep playing until you die, and there's a two-player co-op mode, both locally and online, which can add more replayability, though I haven't tried it yet. Dead Nation runs at 1080p and 30 frames per second, The reason it's not running at 60 is because the original engine was not designed for 60 frames per second, and the team would have needed to recode the engine to a massive degree to make that possible. And I guess they figured it would have been too time consuming, so instead, they focused on making sure the game would have a smooth 30 frames per second, and excellent 1080p visuals, which they did pull off because the graphics and overall presentation is gorgeous. The environments are so rich and detailed, and you see some really cool weather effects like rain, and depending on your location you will get undead dressed up in a certain way, like zombies dressed as clowns, and that's just hilarious. I really like the amount of weapons we are given access to, both in the story mode and in the arcade mode. Dead Nation features some really excellent music and sound effects that just add an extra dimension to this already excellent game, and the narrations from the voice actors are really well done. Alright, Dead Nation is an excellent game, but there are a couple things that hold it back. First, I feel having an option for a 4-player co-op mode would have been awesome, but my biggest issue is with the ending for the story mode. Fighting my way through the game trying to get the character Scarlet to safety, only to have her die, felt really disappointing, even though it is implied that she might be a sentient zombie since the story was told from her perspective, but I just felt this was very underwhelming and a disappointing ending. Dead Nation is a really fun game, and I have had a really good time with it, and I will definitely play it again despite the story mode's disappointing ending. I really enjoyed this game, and I highly recommend you guys check this one out. I give Dead Nation a final score of 8.5 out of 10. Tune in tomorrow when I review another horror-themed game. I'll talk to you guys later. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.